and welcome back. It's been a long time. It's great to see you. I have two cameras going, one facing the eBAND, which you'll see me cut back and forth, and then this one showing me. And today's featured guitar tone patch is my Eddie Van Halen 1979 inspired, that's in quotations, inspired guitar tone Van Halen II. Some people may say, oh Tony, it doesn't sound like that. You know it does. It does sound like Van Halen. But for those skeptics, I'm going to say it's inspired. So now I can get away with saying it is a Eddie Van Halen 2, 1979 inspired guitar tone. Okay? I'm looking over here because Pippi is staring at me, and Pippi may want to get up. Okay, no, she's resting now. Alright, so real quick, I'm using the Boss eBAND JS-10. No, I don't have a fractal audio, Axe Effects 1, 2, or 3. I don't have a Line 6 Helix. I don't have a Line 6 Pod or HD 500X, whatever you call them. I don't have any of that stuff. I have the best of all time. I have the Boss eBAND JS-10. This is what Eddie Van Halen used back then. This is very trebly, very sparkly, very Eddie Van Halen 1979. Of course, I'm using a modified humbucker here. It is a PAF humbucker with Super DiMarzio magnets. So I'm using a PAF, I believe from the 50s. This is going to be a PAF humbucker with a DiMarzio Super Distortion magnet wound into this that I did this. No, but I believe that's the pickup that Eddie Van Halen used for Van Halen II on his Bumblebee guitar. You had a PAF pickup, but you had the magnets from a DiMarzio Super Distortion attached to that pickup. That's why it sounds really, really good. I have a plain, not a plain, I have an awesome DiMarzio Super Distortion pickup on this guitar, which is my main pickup. So I managed to emulate that PAF modified magnet, Alnico, whatever you want to call it, pickup from 1979. I was able to modify this using the Boss eBAND. So if you want to be able to match this, that's how I did it. I can't do that yet. So real fast, this is my emulation, my best attempt at replicating as close to, obviously you cannot have the exact tone. It's just my attempt at getting the best, closest tone I could by using the Boss eBAND, the 1979 Van Halen tone. So it's not exact, obviously it's not exact, but it's an inspired tone because it sounds really good. Hear that reverb? I'm going to work on my Van Halen chops, and you're going to see me out of the blue show you some Eddie Van Halen lick videos, lessons on how to play Eddie Van Halen. There's tons of guys out there that can blow me into the weeds playing Eddie Van Halen, but I'm going to cover Van Halen like you never have. So I'm going to blow them away playing know it's all in fun. You're all telling you stick to George Lynch. I can walk and chew gum. I can do George Lynch and Eddie Van Halen. How about that? How about that? But Tony, you can't play it. I can't? I can't? I just played that. Alright, let's get you the tone. I just wanted to touch base. Let's give me back. You're going to see lots more videos, a lot of surprises. The Neil Sean video, I just have to record it. But it's all set. The tone's all there. And I just got to work on Richie Sambora. So I have a Richie Sambora request. Richie Sambora. This tone I love. It's just a lot of fun to play with. And I'm just playing along with a lot of Van Halen tunes, just jamming along. But I'm using this tone. I just call it EVH 1979. Self-explanatory, but this is what I call it. And you can see it. And I'm going to show you the settings right now. But this is the tone I've been having a lot of fun with. And this is the tone I'll be using for my lessons on Van Halen in the future. I still got to work on my chops, so don't look for any Van Halen lick videos anytime too soon, because I got to learn the stuff. But it's not your conventional stuff from the albums. No, 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 no. This is stuff I have in my arsenal over here somewhere, alright? Now Pippi, again, is looking at me, so I don't know if she wants some water or what. So if you see a cut in this video, it's probably because I have to go let her out and tinkle, or give her some affection and so forth, so... Alright, so let's go ahead and begin. Let's choose an amp. Actually, I already got the settings here, so we're just going to go through the screen, and you're going to walk you through it. Alright, so let's go ahead. Obviously, I have a Joshua Jones tone, a country acoustic, a Gary Moore, which you're going to get. Actually, I already gave you a Gary Moore, so you got the Gary Moore tone. John Levin, I got two John Levins. I got a John Levin from, I would say 9 years ago. And then I have a John Levin in 2020 called John Levin Spicy. I have a John Levin Spicy tone. And when you hear it, you'll love it. But the one you see on the screen is from 2009, I think. Alright, so let's continue. So let's go into our eBAND. Right there, those are my settings that I have in a nutshell. If you go into the amp, I'm using a Marshall, or my amp modeling is emulating a Marshall 1959 Plexi Input 1. Alright, so I'm using a Marshall Plexi Input 1 1959. That's what that is right there. And look at the gain. My gain is at 120. Someone said, oh, Tony, you have too much gain. No, I don't have too much gain because Eddie basically put everything at 100 or 10. So I do not have too much gain. You need to, I'm going to get you some Q-tips and clean that wax out of your ear because he has a lot of gain. Look. Now you know how George Lynch copied that list. Listen, here's Eddie Van Halen. Here's George Lynch. Incidentally, the strings that I use are the strings used by George Lynch. These are my JS boomers, 9s342. This is what George Lynch uses. He's been using this since 1984. Yeah, since 1984. And I've been using this since 1984. I don't use anything but my GHS boomers. That's what's on this guitar right here. So I use nothing but GHS boomers. Just so you know. Okay, so we left off that. The amp I chose is a Marshall 1959 Plexi Input 1. My gain is at 120, and my effect level for this is at 26. Okay, the amp I chose is a Marshall 1959 Plexi Input 1. My gain is at 120, which is all the way full blast. and the effect level is at 26. After we lock in this tone, you can feel free to tweak it. More reverb, less reverb, whatever you want to do to this tone to make it better, by all means go for it. And real quick, just as a disclaimer, your results will vary, may vary, only because of the pickups. I have a DeMarzio Super Distortion pickup. It has a lot of gain already in here. You may have a cleaner pickup. Whatever pickup you have, it may be really hot, not so hot, so it's going to sound different. So in that case, just tweak your settings to where you like it, okay? Because you may dial this in, it's going to, hey, it doesn't sound like Tony's. This is a DeMarzio Super Distortion. So just keep that in mind of the pickup you use will affect the settings that you dial in. So, alright. Let's next go to the next screen. See, my bass, I have it at 100. My middle at 100. My treble at 80. And my presence at 100. That's pretty much what Eddie did, right? Back then. You just put everything full blast. And then I guess use that, I forgot the word. What's it called? He used something to where he can turn up his amps full blast, but not blow out the tubes or fuses, whatever. So I forgot what it's called. Anyways, so you can see my settings there. I have my bass, middle, and my presence all at 100, and my treble is at 80. Alright, what's next? That's next on my screen. If you don't have it and want to affect your tone, it just happens to be like that. So my T-comp, I have it on and it's at 0. What's next in my chain? I do have a limiter. I think I have my limiter on. Yes, I'm using a limiter, so that's what I'm using for this tone. My threshold is at 20. My release is at 84. My tone is at 0. And my effect level for this limiter is at 78. So my threshold noise gate is at 60. In that case, it'd be at 60%, just so you know. This is a very high gain amp, so it has a lot of noise, but depending on your pickup, you can silence that. See? Alright, next in my chain, as you can see, I do have EQ, and I would say most of my crunch is from the EQ, alright? That's what you see on the first part of my EQ. Again, if you have the Axe Effects 1, 2, 3, Line 6 Helix, I'm sure you have a nice elaborate EQ. So go ahead and look at my settings. This is what I use to get my tone. My low gain is at -13, my high gain is at +20 all the way, and my effect level is at -7. Again, it's a very loud tone. And to prove my point, I'm going to exit out real fast. And you see my bars? That's where I want to have my bars out, right there. The next bar over would be 2 circles, and that means I'm maxing out, and I want to max out, so this is really good. So I would basically have fun with this. Alright, let's go back to our EQ. Alright, so my EQ again, real fast, low gain -13, high gain +20, and my effect level at -7. Next, I have for my settings, low mid frequency, I have it at 1.00. Low mid Q, I have it at 1. Low mid gain, I had it at +15. Now, this is what I came up with based on my hearing, based on my pickups. Again, you may need to tweak this if you don't have my pickups, which is totally fine. I don't have Eddie's pickups. My tone is not exactly like Eddie's. I came pretty close with my pickups. If you have crappy pickups, it may sound really crappy. but you may sound even really good with Seymour Duncan pickups. So just keep that in mind. Your pickups, you can play with your EQ distortions to get in the vicinity. Right? All my tones are for you to tweak and make better. To me, they're perfect, and I'm keeping them as is, but you may want something better or something less, and you know, whatever. So it's up to you. Next in my EQ, yeah, you can see that right here. High mid frequency, I have it at 3.15. High mid Q, I have it at 1, and high mid gain, I have it at plus 13. And lastly, on our EQ, we have low cut, flat, high cut, flat. What's next? If you look at my modulations, I have nothing going on. Obviously, you can add a phaser to this if you want to. I don't have a phaser on it, so that's up to you. But this tone does not have a phaser. You want to add a phaser down the road, go for it. Okay? So I have no modulations. I do have delay, believe it or not. It's very subtle, but listen. It's very subtle, but it's in there to fill the space. My delay time is at 450, my feedback is at 60, my high cut at 12.5, and my effect level at 15. So that's my delay. If you don't want to have delay, take the delay off. I just do it to fill the space, but in the background. Alright? Lastly, this is my reverb. I believe his favorite reverb was plate. Who knows? But this is what I'm using. Sorry about that. You may have in your effects processor or rack mount pedals a bunch of options for your reverb. So play with your reverb. I'm using plate. You may have a spring reverb. You may have a hall reverb. Play with your reverbs. You may have a better reverb. So I'm using plate. So this is what I'm using. Reverb time, I have it at 2.3 seconds. High cut, flat, and my effect level, I have it at 84. That's it. Sorry for all the mistakes, but I'm just having fun. Just having fun. Alright everybody, I'll see you folks real soon, and stay tuned for the next video. There may be a Lynch lesson, a tone lesson, an AMA handling, who knows what it's going to be, but it's going to rock your world. And that's it. I'll see you folks real soon. Bye.